I would like to invite you to read a copy of the book that I wrote in 1995 called The Judgment of God, subtitled Terrorism, Floods, Droughts, Disasters. I wrote in 1995 about the possibility of Islamic terrorism coming to America as one of the tools for chastening and judgment that God had at his disposal. Floods, droughts. I encourage you to read the book. You can come to your own conclusions. And the reason that this book is important is because it's got so much of the scriptures in it. I actually took the book to a Christian publisher after I wrote it. And the publisher read it and said, it's just got too much Bible in it. We would like to hear what Randall has to say. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. Too much Bible. No wonder we're in so much trouble. When Christian publishers don't want to publish a book because it's got too much Bible, and they want to, rather than hear what the Bible has to say, they want to hear what the author has to say. Well, I do talk in it. I do draw conclusions. But you can get the book PDF for absolutely free. Go to our website. All right. Jeremiah, in his day, was standing and preaching against all of these evils. Now, we're in a crisis as a country. The parallels between ancient Israel and America today, you don't have to be a prophet to see them, okay? They had child killing. We have child killing. They had rampant homosexuality, homosexual behavior, homosexual prostitution booths at the site of Solomon's temple. We now have so-called gay ministers. We have homosexuals that are saying, okay, this is now a sacrament, a covenant. It's the equivalent of a man and a woman. This is an offense to the Almighty, okay? So the parallels are clear. But the other parallels could also become very clear. Number one, false prophets. Sometimes a person can be a false prophet by virtue of what they don't say, by virtue of what they allow to take place in their presence without condemning it. That's one of the maxims of law, by the way. If you are silent when something is going on, it shows your approval. If you're in a vehicle that someone is going to commit a crime, and you sit there and you don't say anything, but you're in the vehicle, the crime is committed, you stay with them, you can be charged with accessory just by virtue of the fact that you were there and you didn't say something, you didn't try and stop it, okay? That is how much of the sin of the Christian community is taking shape today. It's by what we are allowing to happen. It's by what we are not saying. We've collapsed. When it comes to homosexual marriage, many of the denominations today, Christian denominations, have collapsed. They're just not saying anything. They're not doing anything. So my friend called me. Randy. He calls me Randy. I've known him for almost 30 years. Been doing stuff with him. He says, why hasn't God judged us? It's a great question. It's a valid question. Because some would say, see, it's not going to happen. We're not going to be judged. You people are saying we're going to be judged. We're going to be judged. And look at this. Has been going on for decades and still no judgment. Excellent point. Let's talk about that. If you read the scriptures, read 2 Kings, and you will see a king named Manasseh. Manasseh was Hezekiah's son. Hezekiah was a good king. Hezekiah had him, and then when Manasseh was 12 years old as a boy, Hezekiah died. Hezekiah reigned for 55 years, okay? 55 years Hezekiah reigned. He was a wicked, evil king. The Bible says he shed innocent blood so that the streets of Jerusalem were filled with innocent blood. They made their sons and daughters pass through the fire. If you look at the passage in 2 Kings chapter 21, 2 Kings chapter 24, you'll see Manasseh was involved in child killing that I talked about earlier. Then Josiah came. Josiah was a good king, and he fought against child killing. He actually ended up desecrating the places where these babies were being killed. But 55 years of Manasseh, and then Josiah, and Jeremiah saying, I've been preaching to you for 27 years. I got to take a break, but you can see where this is going. God is long-suffering. God is patient. But then when the hammer finally drops, it drops. Do you want to get America out of the hands of wicked and unjust men and women who are destroying the republic before our eyes, and put leadership back into the hands of righteous men and women so that we don't die as a nation? Well, you're talking about social revolution, and there are rules in social revolution. We can look at the victorious social revolutions of the past, such as the end of slavery, the end of child labor, women's voting rights, the end of segregation, and so much more, and learn from their victories. Look at their actions, their images, their rhetoric, their sacrifices, and their final fruit. We will send you this series that originally cost $129, 7 books for students, 1 teacher's guide, if you'll give a gift of any size and just pay for shipping and handling. Take advantage of it today.